Hey everybody, we are living in the rare air. Thanks for watching some Isaac. We're on a 10 streak right now. Let's see if we can keep it going. That is Blue Baby Alt Path. That's the spiciest option we've had in a little while, but certainly not unfeasible. But definitely, I think we're getting closer to like. Right now, I feel like that's a little bit more in the range of like a 50-50. But, you know, it's largely because the alt path is difficult. I remember, we did have some, we had Eden's Blessing via Genesis on our last run. This is probably a Tears Up. It's not so bad. Amnesia might as well be called like Be Annoyed and maybe Skip a Secret Room. That's not a huge cost to pay. Although, you know, with this many bombs, I wish we didn't have to pay it. And as with a lot of stuff in Isaac, you know, like it really just depends what you get, you know. A lot of your success is determined by the amount of time you've played the game in the past, and a lot of your success is determined by the stuff that you get on this particular run. And I gotta tell you, I'm coming into this run. It's not spoilers, because, like, how would you even know what video I'm talking about, you know? But I'm coming into it off of a really, you know, impressive Slay the Spire performance from my own standards, at least. Trying not to get a big head at the fact that I'm, you know, doing better than expected at the Ascension stuff with the character that, you know, like 3 years ago, I was like, they seem too complicated for me. I'm just moving on. Keep it in mind that when The Watcher originally came out, you know, I was in the middle of, you know, 6 months straight of losing. We found the secret room anyway. We didn't get the stone chest alongside it, but 6 months straight of losing on Ascension 20 with all the characters. So, hey, that's pretty good. Hold on, I'm just scratching an itch right here. It's one of those, like, grizzly bear itches where, like, when I was scratching it, my brain shut off. So the bomb for a Spirit Heart is worse than it would seem, but I'm always thankful to have a little bit of extra HP. A bomb for 3 spiders is substantially worse than that. But this is what it's all about, man. It's all about this item room in here. If you can get this to go... Oh! Can I tell you? You want to mess with me? Don't you know I'm Loki? I'm gonna get insane here. So everybody knows Incubus is the best item. But what if we just took Abyss instead? And started creating some cool flies? I believe in a thing called love. Just listen to the rhythm of my heart. I believe that we can make this work. In my heart of hearts, I believe it. I'm immediately frightened, and I wish that I hadn't done what I did. But I don't feel the fear. And I'm being completely sincere when I say that. Like sometimes, you know, you start. Ooh! Okay, just run it back. Never mind. This just great comedic timing. I don't know what to say. I mean, it was fun, okay? And I looked forward, like, there's some alternate universe where we make that run work, and it's hilarious, and we have an army of flies. We got royally screwed by the fly in there being a champion, but you know what? It made for one of the most clippable Repentance moments, maybe. Easy come, easy go. Does this still work in Repentance? Can you still, you know, drop it? Pick it up. I drop it. I pick it up. We got plenty of time because Tomo would like to come into the office. Hello, my son. Hello. Man, if anything, like, I'm not salty about, like, a streak or anything like that. I'm just genuinely salty, if I am, just because, like, we're so, like, I just wanted that Void run to work. Incubus was probably the better play, but you know, Void is an interesting item I want to experiment a little more with. For anybody wondering what I'm doing, by the way, you just, you know, you pick up and put down Butterbean enough times, it turns into wait what? Tomo. Sorry, I became Marge Simpson there for a moment. Tomo, I love you. When you come in here and you start whipping, yeah, there we go, whipping your tail around the cables and stuff like that. You know, last time you did that, you pulled out the microphone cord. I'm like, does this still work? because I've been here for a bit. Butter bean. You know what? Take me to Platinum God. And then search butter bean. Search wait what maybe? I hold on. Tomo, if you could just move backwards from the microphone cord, please. What is it about cats and like cats and babies very similar? You know, I know we're not doing anything right now. That's because I'm searching repentance, butter bean, wait, what? Just keep it moving, keep it moving. I've been having the same thing. Such a shame they decided to remove this entirely. What a shame. Rip. I mean, wait, what was a slightly powerful item you could get your hands on somewhat reliably. That just screams nerf. Somewhat reliably, yeah. You know, it was really reliable. All you had to do was find a butterbean, which is like a 1 in 400 chance, and then waste a little bit of your precious time on planet Earth just walking into it and out of it over and over again. What I was gonna say is, what is it about cats and babies that like they always seem to seek out things that are harmful for them? I had the baby on the weekend. We were at Activity Gym. We were doing bubble time, which is where we all sit on like this big mat in the center of the room, and they, you know, use like a bubble wand to create a bunch of bubbles, and the babies go like, "What the heck is even that?" And then, you know, bubble time normally enraptures the children. They normally are loving life, but they were all, and it's infectious, right? Like they were all going a little crazy, which meant they all went a little crazier, and then it like so on and so forth. I do see the tinted rock back here, but our daughter, she saw some kids crawling around, and she said, "Great idea," and then just went at like the fastest speed I've ever seen her crawl and tried to stick her finger into the electrical socket. And you're like, you know, I was gonna say it's amazing human beings have lasted this long, but then I remembered that, you know, bizarrely for much of human existence, I'm not gonna say that things were safer, because I think that, you know, obviously you faced a much greater risk of, you know, famine or getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger or whatever, or, you know, vice versa, though. There were no electrical outlets, and the electrical outlet it gives by, for example, warming up some delicious milk, but it also, and this is a little spicy, I don't know, this is debatable, but it also taketh away. And you shouldn't be sticking your fingers in those. We got those covers. You put the cover on the electrical outlet, and then they can't stick their hands in it, but then, you know, still, even still, I'm like, you should nip that impulse in the bud as quickly as possible. I'm just looking for a single bomb. We got a lot of tinted rocks. It's I'm insulted right now. Same with cats, though. Okay, Tomo he's in his box. He's good. It's like I know with cats, it's the impulse to don't shoot me. It's the impulse to always like hide. Like I'm sure that maybe historically, like in the evolutionary record, that was probably like a great survival strategy. If stuff's going down, hide. In the modern domestic environment, is a horrible strategy. Whenever there's a fire alarm, they're like, "Quick, get under the blankets you bought on Wish.com." Did you know, by the way, and I've been here before, but whew, scary. Baby clothes, at least many types of baby clothes, have large, I don't know if you look at the tags of your own clothes, it probably says stuff like, you know, like hand wash only, and then you just machine wash it anyway, and it works out fine. I guess it's like it's a way for the company to avoid liability or something like that. Like, yeah, H&M, I'm probably not going to get my $7 t-shirts dry cleaned. It just seems a little bit like overkill. Okay, not a big play on my part. Just give me Real Steven. All right, so great start so far. We can't even go to the alt path. Let me caffeinate before we continue on the bit. One of the first... Oh, and it's also a new feature in the game to not know how much HP you have at any given moment for the entire run. But one of the first times I changed our baby, put her into like a new onesie, I looked at the tag because it's all new to me, right? And the tag said, "Keep away from fire." And I was like, that's something. I think if you need to be told that, I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to have kids, because I think that's too far. However, I think you should have to take a class. That's like, you know, if you just like a simple, almost like a driving test, you know, where they present you with a situation and then you like narrate what you think you would do in that situation. If they could just give you a test and be like, okay, you got the option to put your baby down, you know, in the high chair or next to the fireplace. If you're like, I'll just put him next to the fireplace, I'm only gonna look away for a second, that's probably where they'd be like, we're gonna need you to do some remedial education here. Just to close the gap. Like, we're not infringing on your human rights. We're just saying, hey, you know, it would be in everybody's best interest if you got this certificate. Oh no. I didn't think you'd have that much HP. Just a bomb, by the way, would really hit the spot. You know what? I'll own the fact on this one that this could not be considered a good faith effort right now to make it to the alt path, because I used the key that I should have saved for potential alt path access. However, I hope you'll also acknowledge that the good faith effort can suck on my good faith effort, because, you know, like, I've really been trying so far on this run to inject a little bit of fun and dopamine. Unfortunately, that's been met with pure derision. And as a result, I'm gonna take it into my own hands, you know. I'm gonna do what needs to be done in order to hopefully lead to a situation where we can have some fun on this run. And I think we might be getting there. Oh, I would have loved that, man. I would have loved that. Anyway, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Weekend is over. It is 9:22 a.m. on a Monday, and this is not my first video of the day. It's also not my first rodeo. I had like a serious Larry David moment this weekend, okay? We wanted to buy a winter sled for when the winter season comes, and like, not something like a toboggan so much, but just like a little, you know, crappy plastic toy that we can slide on the snow. And it doesn't really snow in Vancouver, admittedly, but, you know, we can go up to the mountain and, you know, kind of, you know, drag the baby around and not, you know, on the sled is what I'm saying. Not just like, you know, by her hair or something like that. But geez, I should be so lucky to be dragged around by my hair, you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't know why I'm digging myself deeper into this weird hole. Regardless, okay, very simple. We were trying to buy a winter sled. Now, I know what you're going to say. Why are you trying to buy a winter sled in the summer? Well, because that's when the demand is at its lowest. I'm not thinking we're going to get like a different price or anything like that, but, you know, there's been this is not obviously as extreme, but there's been situations, you know, in Vancouver where like we had this enormous heat wave and fans and air conditioners were sold out everywhere. No keys, huh? Like just genuinely no keys? All right. Yeah, no problem, by the way. No problem. It's a lot of fun. But fans and air conditioners were sold out everywhere because people tried to buy them, you know, once the weather came out that the heat wave was going to happen. But unfortunately at that point, and I guess we're just going down. That's what this run's going to look like now. We're just going to do Blue Baby to wherever the heck we please. My bad, but also, you know, my bad for assuming we would get, like, you know, more than 2 keys over the course of the first 2 floors, including like 75 big rooms. I'm not trying to start pre-tilted. I'm just wondering where my consumables are, Eddie. Similarly, you know, we had like wildfires, and you know, even though they happen like every year, there's always like a run on air filters when the wildfires happen. People go like, you know, they haven't bought them up to this point, so they try to buy them, you know, right when the wildfires are actually confirmed to be happening again, and, you know, they can't get them because supply is limited at that point. There's our key, by the way. Ha 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 ha. So I don't think there's necessarily going to be a surplus, or let me rephrase. I don't think there's going to be a dearth of winter sleds, but we figured, hey, why not get it before you need it? Because when everybody starts buying a sled, you'll be happy you have one. So we went to a large Canadian retailer that shall remain unnamed. We could not find winter sleds, and I said, that's okay. I've used their website many times. If you use their website and you enter the location, it'll tell you what aisle the stuff is in. And it's a big store, and it's the summertime, so I don't know where the heck the sleds are, right? So we used the website. We found the sled we were looking for. It literally said like 217 in stock at this store. Like a staggering amount, right? And you can get it delivered in like a week and a half, or you can pick it up with in-store pickup tomorrow. But we were in the store at that moment. It was not, for the life of us, we could not find, and we went through like every aisle. We could not find the sleds. Probably, I mean, I guess maybe they're not displayed in the summertime because they're not a hot ticket item there, but they're in the warehouse. But I started to play it forward in my head, and I was like, is there really no way that you can like do in-store pickup at the moment? Like, I was feeling like Larry David. Like, I get that it might take 24 hours to prepare the item for in-store pickup, but if I'm in the store and the sled is in the store, can I not just get it and then have the sled ready to be picked up? Like, I get that some of these are like, this is actually convenient, okay? And I'm trying to make a joke. I'm not trying to, like, you know, dismantle retail or, you know, not trying to make anybody have the worst day at their job ever or whatever. But, like, in-store pickup is great. It's super nice if you know you're going to need something to be able to say, like, hey, in, like, 2 days, can you get my, like, tent ready for me or whatever? And they're like, yeah, sure. But when you're already, and delivery is great, too. And this is stuff that, like, you know, necessarily, I guess, has kind of come out of COVID, the cut foot traffic in the store. But I'm also, like, now the in-store pickup is the default way to purchase anything at the store. If you actually go into the store, you're kind of treated like a pariah. It's like, you came into the store to buy the goods that we have in stock? Are you insane? Rather than just picking it up off the shelf, which is like from the, you know, 18th century. What do you think you're shopping at? You know, Sir Walmart's General Emporium? What you got to do is you get your phone, you go to a website, make an account on the website. I would like a sled, please. They say, oh, sure, we got a sled in our warehouse. What we're going to do is we're going to wrap that up for you. Then you're going to walk into the store, but you're not going to go to the shelves. That's where the inmates shop. And then you're gonna walk up to a very long line at the customer service desk. And then you're going to be like, my sled's here, order number 17 character string. They're going to be like, okay, just a second. They're going to walk into a big room with a bunch of boxes. They're going to find it for you, and then they're going to bring it out. Let them do the shopping for you. It's just, look, I'm not upset. It's just, I just wanted the sled, man. And I wanted to be rewarded for my quick thinking. Now, admittedly, if we had just ordered this sled for in-store pickup, I would be able to get it today. But it's the principle of the thing. Now I'm willing to pay 6 times more for a sled that, you know, hey, this is the way Granddad did it. You just walk. What happened to walking into the store? I also, and I'm sure this is unrelatable for people who don't, like, have a stroller. But every new store I go into is like a little puzzle to try to figure out how you can actually, like... It's different, like, some big box stores, obviously. It depends where you are on planet Earth, right? Like, what I'm about to say is gonna... Oh, my mistake, but also, I'm a genius. What I'm about to say is gonna seem very strange if you typically shop in, like, a strip mall type context or, you know, an area with a bunch of, like, big box stores that are all completely flat. But, you know, in Vancouver, there's a lot of, you know... The real estate is obviously super expensive, so even these, like, mega retailers have, like, you gotta take a staircase to get into the building because they raised the building half a floor to put 2 floors of, like, a really small parking garage underneath and stuff like that. And then the store itself is like Kramer's apartment from Seinfeld. Like, it has levels. You'll be like, oh, you want to look at pots and pans? Sorry, you got to take like a 6-step staircase. And I'm realizing that just, you know, and I mean, this is an accessibility issue that, you know, the stroller for me is temporary, but now, you know, for the first time, it actually affects me, and as a result, I find it illuminating, and I just, there's some stores where I just walk in, and I can't figure out how to get a stroller up into the actual shopping area, and I just say, alright, I guess I don't shop here. Like with 2 people, you can, you know, carry a stroller up a staircase for sure, no problem. With 1 person, it's really like you're looking for an elevator. But sometimes you need to take a staircase up to the elevator, and you're like, well, how does that work? But anyway. Maybe they just don't want babies in the Baby Gap store, okay? That's, I never really thought about that. I mean, babies are not a big demographic of purchasing power. If they were, maybe that would change, but for now, they tend to be very spendthrift. A baby is not a, well, you buy a lot of things for babies, but it's largely food and diapers and, you know, Burt's Bees onesies and stuff like that. I am just asking you for an item. Our best item up to this, it's a slap in the face, man. Our best item up to this point is quite honestly Little Steven. Bumbo will get there, but, you know, 3 floors deep, and we're jamming with Little Steven? I think Little Steven actually did pick up a little bit of a buff, but even still, man, like, and now it's funny, like, I wanted consumables for, like, the entire run, keys and bombs. Now I want money to try to get Bumbo to actually do some genuine damage, and it's dropping, like, everything that I previously wanted, but now no longer think is that valuable. It's okay. I'm not gonna say we're gonna win, but we at least are still surviving. This, by the way, is more like, as much as you might think that when I get a negative run in this game, like, admittedly, the first one could have been amazing. It just, ooh, please, please, please. It just went wrong because of, well, because I got hit. Let's go. That's exactly what we wanted to happen there. But I actually, it makes me appreciate the good ones that much more. Like, it was a different story, I felt, in Afterbirth Plus. The only way that you got a terrible run was, like, so much item bloat that you never got stats anymore. And in particular, like, I know, again, who cares about the nitty-gritty of, like, Isaac item balance? But I really do think that they... and it's still a little compromised in my opinion, even though the game's in a great state, but at some point, boss items stopped being, like, reliable stats ups and started to be, like, you know, highly varied, but largely kind of substantially less useful than just getting a tier's HP, range, speed, or damage up. Now there's, you know, all sorts of items I barely understand, even after having been in the game for, like, 5 years. This is not an example. I'll take a speed upgrade and a Balls of Steel. Beautiful. Okay, fantastic. Lovely. You ever feel like sometimes it's just not, it's not your day in Isaac? Like I said earlier, I felt super confident coming into this one, you know, because I've been doing so well in Slay the Spire. Obviously, there's a great correlation between those two. We do have an angel deal showing up on this floor. Presumably. I don't really want to fight the angel statue, so I don't mind using... Oh, he snuck up behind me. Camera tricks. Camera tricks. I mean, we need to get HP as soon as possible. The most okay. The most reliable way to do that is probably via a shop. Yikes. It makes you wonder, if we hadn't had a champion on that big room after we picked up the Vortex, Man, oh man. What would we be dealing with here, you know? Oh, I should have let Bumbo get that. That's my bad. What would we be dealing with right now? You think we'd already be done? You think we'd be cruising? We'd be the Lord of the Flies? We'd be Simon? Please take all the money. I need something that does damage. By the way, if you ever spit out a bomb and kill me, I will retire, so just be careful. That's on you right now. This room is not good. I basically hate it. I appreciate, Bumbo, you're doing your best. Thank you so much. Please, anything for temporary survival. I am actually gonna become the Joker. Okay, so it's important. I actually think there's a lot of value in just letting yourself get a little angry here. Like, I'm not like a, you know, be like water type of guy. I really think that spite powers me a lot of the time. I find it to be a very empowering emotion in short bursts. I guess we will start to work our way towards the shop. This blows. Well, you ready to dance in a telephone booth? Here we go. Take your time. Hurry up. The choice is yours. Don't be late. That is like one of the worst runs I've ever seen in my life. It's a little bit of a shorter Repentance episode today. But hey, if you think about it this way, you really got 2 runs for the price of 1. So what happened on this one? I don't know. Being on the depths one with a level 2 Bumbo, 3 speed upgrades, Steven, a Tears upgrade, and Spelunker hat, but no bombs as Blue Baby. Turns out, not that spectacular, quite frankly. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll be back with a fresh set of eyes in the next episode, and I'll see you then. See ya!